Hi guys, the other day I made this chocolate and raspberry cake and it was so rich and delicious. And it was actually quite easy as well, a lot easier than it looks, which is exactly what you want because whenever you're making this cake, you'll get a lot of brownie points because people think that you worked really hard at it. So start off by melting some butter, quite a lot of it. I did say this was going to be rich. 300 grams of butter you're going to melt in this saucepan, and then you're going to add all the other dry ingredients to it, making this cake really easy and straightforward. So once that's good and melted, then you add your sugar. I'm using 600 grams of caster sugar here, and just mix it all up until it's well incorporated. But don't wait for it to dissolve because sugar won't dissolve in fat. Then take it off the heat so you can add your eggs without them scrambling. I'm adding 6 large free-range eggs here, and then just mix those in as well until they're all really nice and incorporated too. Next, add some good vanilla extract, about 3 teaspoons. Don't bother using the vanilla essence though. If that's all you have, just leave it out and throw away that bottle. Now add 9 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Give it a quick little mix before you add your flour, 210 grams of plain flour here. Now fold the flour and cocoa into the rest of the mixture, and here I think using a rubber spatula is the easiest. So just keep going until the whole mixture is lump free and really nice and smooth and ready to be poured into your sandwich tins. I have 3 here, loose based and lined with parchment paper. I haven't greased them though because they're still quite new and they're non-stick. They're 23 centimeters in diameter or 9 inches. Now just try to pour the cake batter into them as evenly as possible. If you don't have 3 sandwich tins, by the way, you can just use 2 here, or if you wanted to buy them, they're really cheap, but the ingredients for the cake batter are all really easily divisible by 3, so you could just use 1 if you wanted. Don't get bogged down if they're not exactly equal either, it'll just mean that one of the layers is slightly thicker than the others. Now transfer them to a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius and leave them there for 20 minutes. When they're done, take them out and let them cool slightly before you take them out of their tins. Do this by sitting them on a jar of something, or in my case a cup of tea, and then transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. I'm leaving the base in them because it would just be too hard to take it out now. Now you can make the icing, starting off with 100 grams of softened butter. Softened does not mean room temperature. If you have room temperature butter, you might need to give it a blast in the microwave. And that needs to be mixed with 450 grams of room temperature cream cheese. I'm using a freestanding mixer here, but you can just as easily do this with a wooden spoon. Maybe not just as easy, it would take a lot longer. Now go ahead and mix those up until they're starting to look really nice and light and pale. Probably about 4 minutes. Now you're going to sift in quite a lot of icing sugar or confectioner's sugar, 320 grams of it. Now add 50 grams of cocoa to be sifted in as well. I hate this job so much, it's so boring, but it's the only way that your icing won't have lumps. Now fold that in really gently so that it's all nice and incorporated and smooth and lump free. Now to assemble the cake, invert your thickest sponge onto a cake stand and then take away the base and the parchment paper. Now add the icing, about a third of it, but if you want you can keep a little extra back for the top layer. Dot it with half your raspberries. I use 200 grams in total before you invert your second layer on top of it. Now just keep building up these layers of sponge, icing and raspberries until you've got the 3 layers made, and then pile on all the rest of the icing on top and just garnish it with 3 or 4 maybe fresh raspberries in the center. Now just serve up and enjoy, and people really will think you went to a lot more trouble than you did go to. Thanks a million for watching guys. If you liked this video, hit the like button below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please let me know on social media how you got on if you tried this recipe. You'll find all the links to my accounts in the description below, as well as the link to my blog where you'll find the full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.